Excuse me for my voice, but I have never seen anything like it.
You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Andrew Zimmel, host as always. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit, talking about television today. It's TV Tuesday, so I bring you some of the biggest news coming out of different places, or I talk about the shows that I'm watching. So, we had a decision to make today. Did we want to break down TV news, talk a little current events, talk a little bit of the things that are happening around the world of TV, or did we want to break down Seinfeld? I'm binging that right now on Hulu. I figured you guys would want to care a little bit more and want to hear a little bit more of TV news than just me talk about a show that came on in the 90s. The other problem with that is I'm about halfway through season 3 right now, so I've got a little bit more ways to go before we get done and I can really give you a thorough breakdown of my top 10, maybe top 15 episodes from the show. So, that is going to be an episode we're going to get in the next couple of weeks, so be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, Film Friday, I have a special guest coming on to talk about a movie that's on Netflix. It's a psychological thriller, so if you are into that type of stuff, he texted me, he wanted to come on the show. He said, you need to watch this movie, Zimmel. So I said, okay, sign me up. So that's going to be Friday. I'm very excited for that. Other news, NFL content. We have NFL Combine news with Sam, and then, of course, we have the mock draft big board every week. We're breaking down the AFC West this week with the Chiefs and stuff, so you're going to want to check that out tomorrow. Baseball every Monday and Friday, and then, of course, we have NBA talk all throughout the week. So you're going to continue to look out for that because it's been a lot of fun. Let's talk about TV news. So the thing that has taken over movies, the thing that you can't go a summer without them, it's not a cold soda and a community pool anymore. It's Marvel movies. It's superhero movies. You can't go a single year from here to the end of time without getting a comic book movie. Now, these movies have gotten better. I thought the original Iron Man was pretty good. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight is one of the greatest trilogies in cinematic history, at least in the last couple of years. It's been one of the best trilogies that we've gotten. But I think that there comes a time that you get a little bit of superhero fatigue. I think it's a real thing. I went through it when I stopped being a 13-year-old teenager anymore, but some dudes take a little bit more time. And I get it. I watch the YouTube videos on Watch Mojo and some of those other breakdowns of the top, comic book scenes. I think there's like a What Comic channel on YouTube I'm subscribed to, and they break down the top 10, X-Men comics of all time, the top 10 superhero twists of all time, what heroes are the worst. So I watch those videos. I enjoy them. They're a good kind of release, not a hard topic to break down. When I'm watching sporting events 24/7, when I'm taking in media 24/7, getting a YouTube video that doesn't take a lot of brain power is fun. But I will say that I didn't ever watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., wasn't a big Agent Carter fan, wasn't catching any of those TV shows that were centered around superheroes. The Boys on Amazon Prime was the last real superhero show that I think I watched, that I was like invested in. It was like 10 hours, and I binged it all in one day. I pretended I was sick, and I just stayed in my room the entire day. And then, of course, I rewatched The Boys recently on Amazon Prime, and it still checks out. I still really enjoyed it. But Disney Plus, when it was launched, we knew we were going to get more Marvel content. We knew that we were going to get more Star Wars content. The Mandalorian, I came in with trepid expectations. I was kind of, let me put my toe in the water before I get completely invested. The first episode blew me away. Baby Yoda stole my heart, and I was in immediately, and I am. I'm completely into The Mandalorian. I'm ready for that show to come back. Superhero movies, I have kind of been in and out. Infinity War and the Endgame, those two were a back-to-back movie event. You had people from all races and creeds and levels of income, and it was just a great unifying event, I think. And you don't get that a lot in other events, but pop culture and movies really do that for people. They really bring people together. So Marvel's Infinity War and Marvel's Endgame brought people together. But now they're launching Disney Plus, and we knew we were going to get more superhero content. So it's without a doubt that we knew we were going to get Winter Soldier, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We knew we were going to get WandaVision. We knew we were going to get Loki. Those were the 3 that were reported. Those are the 3 that were in production. Those are the 3 we're getting later this year. Wanda and Vision wrapped up earlier this month. So we're earlier last month, I should say. So we're pretty excited for that. That shows should come out. I think that they said the launch is in October. It might be a little bit sooner than that, but I think it was October. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that we got a tease of earlier in the year with the Super Bowl. We got a tease for that. We're going to get that in late 2020 is the announced date, quote unquote. So we should see that in a couple months. It only being March is wild to me because it feels like time has really slowed down. And because I think it's an election year. I always say that. I think that election years take a lot more time than normal years. It's the devil playing a trick on us and really making us suffer. So, really excited for that show. Anthony Mason has done excellent work so far in the character of Falcon, and that really is the big reason I'm checking in, is because now if he's going to be the new Captain America, what do we expect from that character? And really, all of these MCU movies have all been tied together, right? You can't watch a movie from 2011 to 2020 and not have it connect in some way. And now we're going to get these TV shows. And if you're a Marvel fan who's put $15, $20, $30 every time you go to the movie theater, well, now you're going to have to chalk out another couple bucks a month to watch Disney Plus so that you can get this content. Because if everything is connected, like I think that it's going to be very important to make sure that you're up to speed. And that's another reason why this MCU TV on MCU connecting with Disney Plus is so important. It's going to be really interesting for the last show that I want to talk about is Loki, which has Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson are the 2 cast members that have been announced. Those are the 2 guys that are going to bring a lot of people to the table. And because of that show comes out in early 2021. So we don't know a ton about what we can expect from any of these shows. We don't have a ton of leaked scripts. We don't really know what to expect. The only thing that we know is all of the shows are a announced release of 6 episodes. What that tells me is that instead of having 24 or anywhere between 24 and 15 episodes, which would be a cable or network show, normally has that amount of episodes. Having 6 episodes tells me that they're all going to be about an hour to an hour and a half long, hopefully. Now, if they're shorter, I'm going to have a problem. I want these shows to be long. I want them to be worth me investing my time in. And because there was only 6 episodes, I want a compelling story to be told. I know that they're not going to be self-contained stories, because, again, everything links together. And I know that they're not going to drop them all at once, so you can't binge them. So every episode is going to have a cliffhanger. Every episode is going to set something else up going forward. That is really all we know. Outside of that, it's kind of an unknown. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about, too, in this MCU world, is that Alison Brie, married to Dave Franco, star of Glow, in my opinion, has been rumored to be the new She-Hulk in a project for Disney Plus, project for the MCU, I don't want to call it the cinematic universe because it's going to be television. So MCTU, something like that. I don't know. We'll workshop it a little bit more. She's rumored to be She-Hulk, and we already have rumors of Mark Ruffalo in early talks with the MCU Disney Plus series to have him come on as well. Now, if you get Alison Brie and Mark Ruffalo on a show, you have Todd Hiddleston and Owen Wilson, you have the Anthony Mason and Sebastian Serbi, something like that. His name always confuses me. So anyway, you got a bunch of stars on these shows. I'm co-signing up. I love it. Also, now it feels like the MCU, Disney's done a really good job of, if you get hired, for one of these roles, it's pretty much a role for life. That you're always going to be paid. You're always going to have a gig at some point. Because, like I mentioned, people are going to grow fatigued of these superheroes at some point, but right now the cash cow is still very much alive and well. So you're going to get, in the next couple years, actors that are going to sign on for projects, and I can't imagine they're going to sign very old actors, and they might not even sign very well-known actors. You might get some up-and-coming actors signing on to these MCU contracts to play superheroes, and that you're going to get 5 to 7 years of just every year you're going to get a movie made. Now, characters like Spider-Man, who they fought for nail and tooth to get him into the MCU, those guys, you might have a little bit of tougher time keeping them around. But for the most part, you're going to have young actors sign up for roles, and it's going to be you're going to continually get a paycheck. Is it great for Hollywood? Scorsese would say no. You probably would get a lot of filmmakers that would say that these superhero movies are the cotton candy of the movie pyramid, that you really can't compare Casablanca to Thor Ragnarok. I agree to a certain extent, but I do think that this is one of the things that is very much keeping movies alive, very much keeping cinema alive, because a lot of these movie theaters, that these art houses, these independent projects that get put on these massive screens and get screened in some of these bigger movie theaters, some of these movie theaters would have gone out of business a long time ago if it wasn't for the constant release of superhero movies. And you can debate with people with that. That's my opinion, that a lot of these places would have gone out of business a long time ago if it wasn't for the superhero movies. Lastly, and this is the last thing I want to talk about, with these MCU shows, we're expecting one more show. It's called The What Ifs, and I'm very excited for that because the cast of Michael B. Jordan has already signed up. Serbian Stan is the name of Bucky Barnes. Mark Ruffalo signed up for it. Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, Chris Hemsworth. The whole point of this is it is the animated new Marvel TV show on Disney Plus. And it's the adaptation of the What If comics. Now, if you don't know what the What If comics are, they're a series of one-off comics that imagined a world if a certain scenario had played out differently. Here's what we know so far that we can expect. I imagine we can expect the What If scenario of the Battle of New York changing. What if Thanos would have gotten those Infinity Gauntlet, if he would have gotten the Infinity Gauntlet sooner? What if Peggy Carter had taken the Super Soldier Serum, instead of Steve Rogers? What if Loki had welded Mjolnir instead of Thor? It's a bunch of really cool concepts that I can only imagine Kevin Feige and the guys over there at Marvel are just licking their lips. I'm very excited. That show is probably the one that I'm most excited for, not only because it is more than just, 10 episodes, 6 episodes. It's 23 episodes right now announced, and it's animated, so you can do a lot more fun things with it. The characters can come in and out. You can get some of the voice actors for some of these characters who might be one-offs. You get an actor in a studio for a day to record their lines. A lot more fun stuff can happen. So I'm really excited about that. The only thing that I don't want is I want different art concepts than Teen Titans Go. I want different art concepts than some of these other things. I want different arts for every single one. I want 23 different artists. That's what I want. Because the What If comics, they did a really good job of adapting it over the years. They had different artists do different things. But for the most part, it all kind of had a similar thread going through all of them, right? The difference, the changing of a certain event. I want that. I want the storylines. I want the storytelling to be similar. I want the art concepts to be different for every episode. At least change it up a little bit. I want what they do in Black Mirror, where it's a different director on some of those projects. That is really what I'm looking for. All right, that's going to do it for Television Tuesday. Check out Sam's NFL Combine. Check out the rest of our content throughout the week. And I'm super excited for some of these Marvel movies and TV shows coming out. All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.